Page 20, Allegro. Here they're introducing a couple of new things. A pickup beat or pickup note and a sharp sign. Let's talk about each one of these. Music theory dictates that the music is based on the time signature controls the counting, okay? In Allegro, the time signature is 4/4. And that top 4 is how far you count. That tells you every measure or every bar has to have 4 beats to it. The equivalent to 4 beats. They can be any combination of quarter notes, half notes, dotted half note, whole note, whatever, but it has to be 4 beats. Can't be more, can't be less. It's got to be 4 beats, okay? Well, if you look at the first measure on this piece, there's 1 beat. It's called a pickup beat. It's an incomplete measure. So in order to make it okay, they take the last measure of the piece and they chop it. They split it. So if you look at the last measure of this piece, you'll see it's a dotted half note. It's only getting 3 counts. So the last measure only has 3 counts in it. But if you take the last measure and put it together with that pickup measure, you get 4 beats, and that's how they do it. So the pickup measure by a lot of theorists is considered the completion of the last measure. All right? And if they number the measures, they don't put a number on the pickup measure. First measure is considered to be the first complete measure. Because sometimes we number the measures in music. When I number them, I number the pickup measure because it's just, I can keep it straight that way. But in a lot of method books, they don't. In Allegro, when I count us in, even though it's a 4/4 time, we're going to come in on beat 4. So I'm only going to count in 3. So I'd go 1, ready, go. And then when 4 came, then we'd start playing right there. 1 beat early. That is a pickup beat. It could be any number of beats. A pickup measure can any number of beats as long as it's not a complete measure. Okay, it could be 3 beats. It's not a complete measure. 2 beats, or it could be a half a beat. It could be, can split them up that way. Good luck. Things to look forward to in the future. Ooh, yeah. The sharp sign. The sharp sign looks like a number sign or a pound sign, or in this day and age, they'd call it a hashtag. It is placed right before the note, and it is telling you to raise the note or raise the pitch 1 note on the keyboard, white or black. Now we're getting into the black keys. For instance, if I have a G and I want a G sharp, see, it's weird because when I say it, I say the note first and then the sharp. But when you see it in the music, the sharp would be in front of the note. But I'm not going to say a sharp G. That's backwards. So it's a G sharp. I'm going to go up 1 note, white or black. In this case, it's here. Okay? That is a G sharp. If I want a D, and I want a D sharp, I go up 1 note, white or black. It's a D sharp. Okay, here's a kicker. If I want an E, and I want an E sharp, I go up 1 note, white or black. That is an E sharp. And then you're saying, whoa, hold up. That is an F. Well, surprise. Joke's on you. Every key on the keyboard has multiple names. Now, I'll give you a moment to pick yourself up off the floor, okay? Because it makes sense. You'll get them eventually. Just know that any key can be multiple things. So that F is also an E sharp. A C happens to be a B sharp also. So there's a B. Go up 1 note. 1 note, white or black is what I'm saying. That's a sharp. So in this piece, Allegro, let's take a look at it. It's the second line. It's the next to the last measure. You have a D for the first note in the measure, and then you have a C sharp. So instead of playing the C, you're going to play the C sharp. Okay? That's the way that works. Now, there's a general rule with sharps and flats and natural. When they stick them in a measure like this, okay, there's a rule that goes along with it. And it's an important rule. And that is that it is only valid from that point on for the rest of the measure. Now, once you cross the bar line, it's not good anymore. Okay? So if you notice in that next to the last measure, I have a C sharp. In the last measure, I have a C. That's a C natural. It's not a C natural because I'm playing it with the left hand. That doesn't have anything to do with it. It doesn't matter which hand is playing it. It's a C natural because I crossed the bar line. So if they wanted that last C to be a sharp, they have to put another sharp sign in front of it too. Keep that in mind. I'm going to remind you of that a few times because it's important. Now, if on the next to the last measure, if they would have had another C later on in that measure, it would be a C sharp also. And they wouldn't have to put a sharp sign in front of it again because that one sign goes for the whole measure. Oh, isn't that fun? Clear as mud, right? Okay. Now again, if you follow the fingering, the right hand moves a little bit because you're starting in the right hand in C position, right? The middle C position. Right? But then in the next to the last measure on that second line, your third, they tell you to use the third finger to play the D. So you got to come down one key. Now, a little tricky because your left hand's in the way. Okay? You're here. So when you come down, you just got to get the other fingers out of the way. Leave the left hand alone. It's okay right where it is. So you just got to accommodate it when you go down. Okay? Now I would like to explain this off, I keep saying, at the end of these pieces. At the end of this, this Allegro, the dotted half note, I would go 1, 2, 3, off. The off is when you lift up the note. You get off of the note, okay? The problem is that people won't hold a note out at the end of a piece its full value. They cheat, they quit early. And it's important to hold it out its full value. Well, a note's value lasts until the next beat starts. A note ends when another beat starts. So in the last measure, a dotted half note is 3 beats long. So it stays, you play it until beat 4 starts. There is no beat 4, doesn't matter. It's an imaginary beat 4. Well, it is a beat 4, it's a pickup beat. But let's just say it's imaginary. So you have to mentally think 1, 2, 3, off. And then you lift up on off. That's when you stop. That's why I keep saying it. Let's try this out. I assume you can already play it, right? So, the right hand, we're going to put a little finger on the G. That's where it goes. The left hand, there's a second finger on a B, and there in that measure. That's where it goes. 1, ready, go. 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3, off.